Hello everyone, Sailak here and welcome to another tutorial on my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make a script that you can use to make your character fly around the map. Enjoy! Okay, so let's start by inserting a local script into starter character scripts. So we are pressing that little plus here and then setting a local script. So first things first, we have to set two services. We will do it using variables. First one will be a run service, and it will be used to call a function every frame. So we type in game get service run service. Okay, and the second one will be user input service. What we will use it for, I hear you ask. It will be a service that will detect whenever player presses any button on the keyboard. So we type in game get service user input service. Okay, now we need to get basic elements of our character. Those will be character, humanoid root part, and the camera. So let's start by the character. It equals game players local player. As we are in a local script, we can use local player and just a character. The second thing we need to get is our humanoid root part, and it's just character wait for child humanoid root part. Why we use wait for child is because when player joins game and his character loads in, humanoid root part doesn't always load in immediately. It takes few seconds depending on the internet speed of player and the PC of player. So if we wouldn't done that and we would just place a dot here, it would probably cause an error. And the third thing is the local camera, which is game workspace current camera. Okay, now that we have our elements, we will take care of physics. First thing we need to set is local body position. We will make a shortcut here, instance new body position, and we will set its parent to our humanoid root part. And what body position is, it's just basically adding a velocity for our character, so we will be able to fly forwards. We need to set its max force to 0 because we don't want player to fly immediately, so we'll set it just to empty vector. We will just leave it like that. And we just need to set the property to 0. In other case it just won't work. Second one is a body gyro. Body gyro equals instance new body gyro. Here it is, and we are setting again the parent humanoid root part. As before, we need to change some properties. First will be body gyro max torque. We will set it as before just to empty vector, and the D property we will set it to 10 this time. And again, you can try to play around with these numbers, but those are the best one, and just I will leave it like this. Okay, so now is the most important variable as speed. So mice will set it to 1. If you want a character to fly faster, you can set it even to 10. No, don't set it more to 10. But if you want to make player fly slower, then you can set it to like half or 1.2. I will set it by 1. It's just the basic speed. And now we will set a function fly. Okay, so this function will be called whenever player presses a space twice. That's how I made it. First thing I want to change is to set body pose max force to some really big numbers. I just did those. Same thing we're doing with body gyro, but this time it's max torque. I will just copy this line. Okay, and this is the place where we use run service. So we are basically binding a function to be called every frame. So we do run service bind to render step. So now we have 3 arguments here. First one is name of our function. We will just call it fly. The second one is the priority. We will set it to 1 because we don't really need to set the priority if there is only one binded function. And the third one is the function itself. We will write it now. So those are 2 things we need to do. First one is setting a body pose position. I won't explain to you how it works, so I will just write it and you can copy it from me. Oops, a typo. Okay. Okay, and the second one is setting a body gyro C-frame. So we are typing a C-frame new, and we will do camera C-frame P as position, and then the humanoid root pad position. Okay, now that those 2 things are done, we can get to the second part of our tutorial, which is setting a user input service. So first thing we have to do is set a user input service for input that is coming in. So we will use input began connect function, and we need to type in those brackets input. This will be basically the button that player have pressed. So now we need to check if the button that player has pressed is spacebar. So we are doing if input keycode equals enum keycode space then. And the second thing we need to check if it is a double press. I used a function tick here. It is used to calculate time and to compare 2 times with each other. So we also need to set a variable here. It's just local last press. So we know when the last space was pressed. And here we compare it with actual space press. So we are subtracting actual time with the last button press. And if it is less than half, then we will call a function fly. So we will make player to start flying. If you want, you can set this value to 1, or you can make it short at 1.2, but I just will leave it with 0.5. Okay, so the second thing we need to change, oh no, one more thing, we need to set last press to this tick, because we have pressed a spacebar one more time, so we need to change the last press variable to this time. Okay, so now when we play this the game, we can see that if I double press spacebar I can fly around, but I can't stop though. I will fly infinitely, so this is not the end of the tutorial. I can't land, I will just fly around. So what we want to add is a end for our input. So if I type it, use it input service input ended, I can detect when player stops pressing spacebar. So I will connect it with function, and again I will use input as an argument. And again we are checking if it was the space, so I will just copy this one. If input keycode equals enum keycode space, then we need to do 3 things basically. Unbind the function from run service, so we use unbind from render step, oops, and we call the name of the function fly. Second thing is resetting the body position, so we set it to empty vector again as we did here, and we do the same with body gyro. We're setting an empty vector. Okay, so now if I play this the game, I can see that if I double press the spacebar I can fly around, and if I stop holding it I will land. So I guess our script works, and this is all I wanted to show you today. Make sure to leave like and comment, and have a nice day.